Hi there, welcome to your summer citizenship course. I am Alejandra Alvarado. I will be your instructor for the next 5 weeks. I would like to use this video as a sort of guide to give you more information about how the course is going to work, what you can expect, and show you where to access your lessons, your readings, and my contact information in case you have questions. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So as soon as you log into Canvas, and you click on your citizenship course, this is the first thing you should see. This is your homepage. For your lessons, there are two ways to reach them. You can either click here on modules, or you can click down here where it says start here. Comienza aquí for Spanish speakers. So I've tried to translate most of the important parts of our website in order to help both English and Spanish speakers. So let's go ahead and click on our modules. And it takes us here. So first thing, I have a Q&A cafe. So basically any questions that you may have about the course, about a lesson, anything that you're not understanding, you can go ahead and post it in this discussion forum. All you have to do is click here, click reply, and you can start writing your question. I typically check these every day, so I will be able to give you an answer within 24 hours or sooner. Going back to our modules. So I've separated our workload into weeks. So if you notice up here, I have dates for each module. So the first date is the date that the lessons become available. And the second date is when the assignments are due. So let's go ahead and click on our first lesson just so I can show you what this is going to look like. And if you have access to Canvas, I'm sure you have already looked through it, but I want to make sure you don't miss anything in order for you to be able to do the assignments and complete them with no problem. So let's look at our first lesson, which is going to be about geography. I provide two links at the very top of each lesson, which is where you will access your lesson guide and your handouts that include the reading. So if you click on the lesson on each of these links, it will open up a separate page. This first link is going to open up a Word document that includes the questions from the 100 civics test questions that relate to the topic of the day. So for example, since this first lesson we are talking about geography, I've included all the questions from those 100 questions that are related to geography. So notice we're talking about capitals, capital of the United States. We're talking about borders, territories. So anything related to geography from those 100 questions is included in this lesson. If you scroll down, I also include a list of vocabulary. This portion is more focused towards Spanish speaking students. So if you have a firm grasp of the English language, you may not need to pay much attention to this part of the lesson, but definitely this part will be important for you. As you can see, I've provided the questions both in English and Spanish for those that need translation. And once we finish all our lessons, we will have answered the 100 questions. So I will never give you all the questions because I consider that to be really overwhelming and probably not very helpful. So that's why I've decided to break everything down by topic. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that, come back to our Canvas. You click on the second link, that opens up your reading for each lesson. So it should look something like this. So all of our handouts come directly from the USCIS agency, which is the agency in charge of reviewing your application and where you will go to do your interview and exam. So this is directly from them, so you can trust that the readings and the material that you'll be looking over is exactly what they need you to learn. So all of these handouts, it'll be 5, 6 pages. It's nothing very heavy. And with these, you can choose either to click this icon and view the pages on your browser. So you can choose to do this. Or if you click the actual link, which opens this page up, you can print them. I know some people learn better by writing. So if that's the case, you can definitely print these pages out and practice. If you print them out, it is a little bit more beneficial because there are activities included on these worksheets that I am not able to post on Canvas because there are limits to what we can do on Canvas. But if you were to print these out, especially these last pages, for Spanish speakers particularly, there's a lot of these parts of the handout where you can practice writing. Remember, there will be a component in which you will be asked to demonstrate your writing skills. So there's a lot of practice like this in these handouts. If you can print them out, I would say to do so. Okay, going back to our lesson page. So for every lesson, I will provide an overview, directions, and time information. So an overview is basically going to tell you what we are going to cover this lesson and which questions from the 100 civics test questions we will be answering. So for example, here I say that we are going to talk about geography, and I include the numbers of the questions that I'm providing. So I know these numbers seem a little bit random. Trust me, they're not. They are taken directly from the list of 100 questions from the USCIS website. So I've left their original numbers on there so you can look them up. So let's say you want to look up number 44. It's going to be the same one as it is on this sheet. And I will provide the link for the questions so you can see all the questions in case you don't have access to them. But you can see that you can look up the question by number and it will always match up to what you've been studying. Directions, I will provide a lecture video. Like I mentioned, if you are fluent in English, you may choose to skip the video because the video will serve primarily to translate for Spanish speakers. I will include extra information, but I said as if you are fluent in English, you probably don't need to watch it. You can probably just do the reading on your own. Click the blue links, which are these, for you to do your reading. And when you finish your reading, there will be an assignment. So basically, we're going to be answering the questions from the guide as the assignment. Each assignment will have a different quantity of questions, just depending on how many questions there are relating to the topic. So this lesson includes 8 questions. But once we get to, say, the lesson on the executive branch, I believe there are about 13, anywhere between 13 and 15 questions. Some topics will be a little bit, will have a little bit more information, but that's okay. I'm here to help you through it. And I also provide expected time. So most of these assignments will be about 2 hours. So that could be more or less depending on how focused you are when you're working on it. And I completely understand if it takes you more than that, as long as you are able to get through it. There's no problem with how long it takes you to do the assignment. So I provide all the instructions in English first. And as we keep scrolling down, I also provide them in Spanish for our Spanish speakers. Since I am in instructor mode, I cannot show you where the assignment is. Let me do a little magic here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go back to my modules. Okay, so once you finish all the reading, you're going to hit Submit Assignment, which will let you start your assignment. So you will be able to answer those questions. As soon as you click Submit Assignment, there will be a text box that opens Once you write all your answers down, you hit the blue button again and it will send your answers to me. Okay, I'm going to hit back. We're going to go back to our modules. So every week we will cover 2 lessons unless we have an exam. So you are not able to access this one yet because I have not published it, but during the week of the 15th will be the first test. So that will be weeks like that where we have a test. We will only have 1 lesson. It will include everything that we have covered so far. So let's say for this test number 1, it will include information from lesson 1, lesson 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will also be providing quizzes, weekly quizzes, so you can keep practicing answering the questions, and these will be available until the very end of the course. So our course, this first session of the course ends on June 30th. So even though it becomes available June 1st and it's available until June 7th, you can use, I have opened these up so you can access them until June 30th if you would like to keep practicing. Okay, one more thing. So if you scroll down to general information for students, you will be able to see information about where to access. So this is information about the instructors. There it is. Okay. Instructor contacts. So if you have any questions, there are different ways that you can reach me. I already demonstrated where you can use the Q&A cafe. So use that for public questions. Maybe you have a question about a lesson and you can post it on there, and if other students have the same question, they'll be able to see that. So that's beneficial for everyone in the class. Canvas inbox, you can send me an email through our inbox here on the website. Zoom conference, I have office hours from on Mondays and Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. So I've tried to make these in the afternoon because I know typically people are working in the morning. And since these are the typical hours that I would hold classes when we were still doing face-to-face classes, I've tried to keep it around the same time. If these hours don't work for you, you can definitely send me an email through inbox and we can set up a different time. And that includes weekends. If we can't find something that works during the week, we can set up a time during the week, and that's no problem. If you have a question that's urgent or that's personal, you can use my personal cell phone number. You can text me. I answer quickest to text. So if the question that you have is time sensitive, definitely send me a text message and I provide my cell phone number here. I've also provided my Merced College email. This is probably not the best way to reach me because I do get emails from administration, from my dean, various people, so it might get lost among all those emails. So I would say use this as a last resort. Text message would probably be the best. And then maybe after that would be a Zoom conference. If you feel comfortable using Zoom, that would probably be second best. Okay, so let me go back to our modules. Okay, so as you know, our course runs through June 30th. We will be able to cover 10 lessons during these first 5 weeks. And if you choose to continue in our second session for the summer, I will post the next lessons after this. So it will be a continuation of the lessons that you have already done. So if you choose to join the second session, I'm not just going to repeat what we've gone over. There will be new material posted. I will also provide all of this so that you can keep practicing, like I said, because that is the most important part for you to be able to keep practicing the questions so you can feel more comfortable with it.